Now, I'm not sure if you're still stuffed from your 4th of July barbecues. A lot of people probably waking up today saying they are going to start a diet today. You know how that goes. But does going vegan or gluten-free or detoxing actually work? So here to kind of walk us through some of the most popular diets, we have Ashley Pettit, and she's actually a nutrition and fitness expert. So thanks, Ashley. We appreciate you coming in today.
I'm glad to be here to help people kick off after that 4th of July.
I know, like that's so, it's during the holiday, like you're literally on your 3rd hot dog, and you're like, I think tomorrow would be a good time.
It's when I get my most calls.
Did you go nuts yesterday, or what does a nutritionist eat on the holiday? I'm dying to know.
Not really. I kind of live in moderation. I like to have some fun, but I'm pretty even keel all the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't eat any hot dogs?
No, I did not.
No burgers?
No, you know, I made a turkey burger for my husband and I.
Okay, that sounds exciting.
It was pretty good.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these fad diets. Now,
sure.
This first one, detoxing. I got to tell you, I credit my producer in radio. Probably like 10 years ago, he did this whole detox thing that Toby Maguire did, the lemon and the pepper, and now everybody, Beyonce does it. Is that what we're talking about with detox?
Yes. One of the most common detoxes is always going to be a liquid. The only problem is you're setting your body into starvation mode.
Right.
So as soon as you go off that, whatever you eat, your body's going to store as fat because you've starved it, literally.
Right.
So it works to drop water weight, and it's great for a quick fix, but it's really not the healthiest option or the best route to go.
Right. This is the one that we're talking about. It's the maple syrup, the cayenne pepper, the
lemon.
And you do it quickly and you feel, but are you really detoxing too? Because they'll say, well, it's really good for my body to get everything out and then I could start fresh. Like, is it
It's not really detoxing, because what happens is it takes the good out with the bad too. So you're setting your body into this lack of equilibrium. Okay. And a water bottle does become your best friend for 2 to 10 days, which is way too long for anybody to not have sustenance.
Right, and it's not attractive either because you're carrying it around and it's just this really ugly color and you're carrying it in this bottle. So
true.
Okay, so for a temporary quick fix, maybe if you need to do something, a holiday. Okay, so the next diet fad now is gluten-free.
Yes.
Some people have to be gluten-free and others are now doing it. Why?
Yes. Well, thank you, Miley Cyrus, for making this the new popular thing to do.
Okay,
she was. You know, I'm gluten intolerant, so for me, it kind of frustrates me when people give up gluten for fun.
Right.
Because what they do is they resort to the junk food. So I would love to change the name from gluten-free to forget white processed flour and just go to healthy whole grains.
Okay.
Because look there's cookies, there's tortilla chips, there's pretzels. You can still pig out if you're gluten-free.
I was going to say, yeah, you brought my favorite pretzels. And again, I don't need to eat gluten-free, but I found these and I'm like, hallelujah, these are the best pretzels ever.
Right.
And those cookies. So it really isn't going to help you if people think, oh, I'm going to lose all this weight and stuff. You're really not.
As long as you really you're really not going to lose a lot of weight, because there's too many pitfalls for gluten-free now. There's so many options out there that are the equal junk food alternative to what has gluten in it. And it's not gluten that kills you. It's just all the white flour and the sugars. Okay. So really, if you focus on whole grains, you're better off.
Rob, our producer, just did that. I just noticed today he looks so skinny, and he's a
guy.
Good. He's a guy, so he probably lost 10 pounds in 2 days.
So unfair.
But he cut out just white flour and sugar, and he said it was really easy to kind of drop that weight.
One of the smartest things to do.
Yeah. See, Rob, you are smart.
Thank you.
You knew you were smart, but you really are.
Thank you.
Okay, so now you're welcome. Now, one of the next is vegan.
It's vegan-ish. So Kathy Freston came out with this book, Veganist, that's been touted, you know, worldwide. It's too tough for most people to say, I'm not going to have meat or dairy ever.
Right.
So this whole campaign to go vegan-ish, which is just going vegan a few days a week and limiting your meat, which, you know, some people can do it and some people can't. This is more like how I live. So the problem with that is, while it's healthy and it's a great alternative, is people don't know what to replace their meat and dairy with.
Right.
So they start to get into some deficiency issues. So here I have some legumes, lentils, you know, millet, quinoa, and black rice, which all are high in antioxidants and protein. So you'll be able to replace that meat healthfully.
This how do you pronounce
quinoa.
it? Quinoa. I almost butchered it. It's so great. We just had it in the other day, and you could use it for breakfast. You can use it for lunch or dinner. And lentils too are really great.
So good.
But again, you got to be careful. And I love the vegan-ish makes me laugh only because I think when they originally started out, it was like you're vegan or you're not vegan.
Right.
You can't be vegan-ish, really.
Absolutely.
According to the principles.
You can.
But okay. So then, in our final one is clean eating. What do you do to clean eat?
This is really what my company is all about and what I try to explain to my clients. So 9 times out of 10, what you get is out of a box. So I tell my clients to eat like they're pregnant.
Oh, you mean stop off at McDonald's?
Yeah, of course. No, you know, a doctor will always tell you when you're pregnant, avoid the antibiotics, the hormones, the nitrates, all those fun things that you do not need to remember what their names are, as long as you don't eat things that are always going to be out of a can.
Okay.
So clean eating is really just getting things fresh off the farm, sort of, and putting them on your plate. The problem with this is that it takes time and effort.
Right.
So I tell people, if you really want to live a healthy lifestyle forever, that's not a four-letter word like diet, try clean eating and just plan your meals a week ahead of time and cook it all yourself.
Right, and then freeze it. And you know, a good way to probably clean eat is that old adage where they say, when you go to the grocery store, stay around the perimeter.
Yes,
and
perimeter
don't go
shopping
into
is
the
best.
middle, because that's where you get into the canned stuff and the stuff that's not that great for you.
100% agree.
Right. Okay, I have one more question as long as
Sure.
you're here. And that is that I've been seeing about this book called OMG. Wait, is it OMG? What's the book called?
The OMG diet, it's the sparks your metabolism.
Right, and it was written by some guy who was on Harry Potter. At first everyone thought he was a doctor, and now he's just some actor. But what do you think about this whole process? Like, you're supposed to drink a lot of coffee, and you're supposed to take a cold, shockingly cold bath, and all of these crazy things.
You know, I'm really not into telling people to overload on caffeine. I could get into why, but it's really scientific. But, you know, anything that's crazy like that, you know, 30 days to a bikini body, or, you know, 5 days, 5 pounds, or drink a lot of coffee and take a cold bath, which sounds like fun to me.
Right, everyone's going to be doing it anyway.
Isn't really going to work 100%. So
Yeah.
being realistic and doing something like eating cleaner, anything that sounds crazy is always going to be your best bet to avoid it.
Okay, and the funny thing is, it's on the top of the bestseller list. Like,
Always.
it knocked 50 Shades of Grey off of the
Well,
bestseller
that
list.
says
which
something
is,
about it,
I
doesn't
know,
it?
right? Now we're focusing on looking good, so we can, read 50 Shades of Grey. Thank you so much, Ashley. We really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. This is really good stuff. She has a ton of info on her website about fitness and nutrition. You're adorable, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Those are the greatest pictures. How cute.
Thank you.
So if you want to look like Ashley, again, and slow and steady really wins the race.
Absolutely.
So remember that today. Go to ashleypettitliving.com for more information. All right, thanks. I'm glad there were no donuts right before
Oh,
your
yeah.
segment. It would have been embarrassing.
Not good.